She checked in, but never checked out. On January 26, 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam arrived in downtown Los Angeles for what was supposed to be a solo trip of self-discovery. But just days later, her face would be plastered across news outlets, forums, and conspiracy videos. After hotel surveillance captured her behaving in a way no one could explain, and then disappearing completely. The Cecil Hotel had always had a dark history. But when Elisa vanished, the internet found a new obsession, one that blurred the lines between fact and fiction, truth and terror. This is the story of Elisa Lam, and the question that still lingers: what really happened to her? Elisa Lam was a Canadian college student from Vancouver, British Columbia. Her parents were immigrants from Hong Kong, and she was the youngest daughter in a close-knit family. Online, Elisa was expressive. She ran a Tumblr blog called Ether Fields, where she shared thoughts about books, relationships, depression, and life as a student trying to figure it all out. Her writing was poetic, often emotional, and at times, painfully honest. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression. She took medication and was in regular contact with her parents. Still, like so many young adults, she wanted to explore the world and prove she could do it on her own. So in January 2013, she left Vancouver and headed to California. She posted updates from San Diego, took selfies at the zoo, and eventually made her way to Los Angeles. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, a place steeped in infamy. And then, she vanished. On February 19th, nearly 3 weeks after she was reported missing, a hotel maintenance worker investigating water pressure complaints made a horrifying discovery. Elisa's body was found floating inside a sealed water tank on the hotel's roof. But it was what happened in the days before that made this case world famous. A surveillance video from the hotel elevator was released by the LAPD in a desperate attempt to generate leads. What it showed was chilling. Elisa steps into the elevator and presses multiple buttons, seemingly random floors. But then she behaves as if someone might be following her. She hides in the corner, peeks out, jumps back in. At one point, she steps out and makes strange, fluid movements with her hands, as if she's speaking to something or someone just out of frame. The door never closes. The footage is just under 4 minutes long, but it captured the world's attention like wildfire. Was she hallucinating? Was someone chasing her? Was something else going on? Internet forums exploded with theories, from ghosts to government experiments to something darker. Part of what made the case even more disturbing was where it happened. The Cecil Hotel has a history that reads like horror fiction. Multiple suicides. The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, stayed there. So did Jack Unterweger, another serial killer. Over the decades, the Cecil became a magnet for tragedy. By the 2010s, it had rebranded itself as Stay on Main. But the ghosts of its past lingered. Elisa's death added to that legacy, and some believe the hotel itself was cursed. The official autopsy report ruled Elisa Lam's death an accidental drowning. No signs of trauma, no drugs or alcohol in her system, just her prescribed medications. But questions remained. How did she get onto the roof? The doors were alarmed. The water tanks were tall and difficult to access. Could she have done it alone? Was she experiencing a mental health episode? Theories ran wild, but evidence was scarce. Her parents later filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the hotel, which was eventually dismissed. They believed better safety precautions could have saved their daughter. And in a way, many people agreed. Elisa Lam's case was one of the first major true crime stories to go viral on YouTube, Reddit, and Tumblr all at once. People studied the elevator video frame by frame. They built timelines, mapped the hotel's floor plans, and even falsely accused an innocent musician of being involved simply because he once filmed a dark music video there. It showed both the power and danger of internet sleuthing. People wanted answers so badly that they began seeing patterns that weren't there, filling in gaps with fear and fantasy. The truth was complicated, maybe even mundane. But to many, it was easier to believe in ghosts than in the reality of mental illness, loneliness, and systemic failures. Elisa Lam was more than a mystery. She was a daughter, a dreamer, a young woman trying to find her place in the world. Her story became a symbol, not just of the unknown, but of how the internet processes tragedy. We may never know exactly what happened in those final moments on the roof of the Cecil Hotel, but maybe the real mystery is why we're still haunted by her story all these years later. Thanks for watching Digital Detectives.